Each soul has 3 potencies contained in a small degree: Sandini, Samvit, and Hladini. Each of these potencies is fully spiritual and transcendental. They are always outside of space and time. They contain a database of spiritual archetypes, perception of surroundings, eternity, relationships, and knowledge, all of which revolve around devotion to the Absolute Person. When our consciousness is in contact with the material world, these potencies tend to be polluted by the illusion of Maya, the appearance of what is not. Therefore, it may seem to us that we are temporary and that we consider only things expressed through gross matter, space-time, and mind as real. These eternal spiritual potencies are reflected in the dead and inanimate variants of the material world through the dynamics of the 3 qualities of material nature. Every material body is inanimate even right now. Therefore, every soul who sees the essence in matter independently of worshipping Krishna and his infinite qualities continues to dream to varying degrees according to the extent to which he is aware that the various manifestations of this world are nothing but various manifestations of Krishna's external energy in interaction with these inner potentials. Therefore, it may seem to us that this external world has some different essence from devotion, but to tell the truth, even this illusory essence arises from us through the permutation of spiritual potencies through the mirror of polluted consciousness in the false ego. It arises from our inner potencies that are reflected in matter and give us the appearance of absolute things that exist only above space and time in spiritual reality, where they are fully employed in devoted service to the Absolute Person. Everything we perceive and the value we attribute to it is, therefore, from a certain point of view, is ourselves. The duality with which we are thus in contact lies in the soul itself. But the Supreme Lord, unlike the conditioned soul, has an infinite mass of spiritual potencies that permeate this world as Ananda Chinmay. But these energies are hidden under the surface of material signs and words. Therefore, the statement, "everything is Maya," is quite often misunderstood and very complex. Because each of us is to some extent overlaid with material concepts, and to some extent we are already able to perceive spiritual patterns and potencies above the horizon of space and time in proportion to our surrender and the grace of the Supreme Lord. Anything we perceive apart from the Absolute Person is only an illusion, because the essence on which every true relationship with reality is based is always based only on Krishna and his eternal servants. The dynamics of material illusion are attractive precisely because they works with our own inner potentialities which are fully spiritual and reflects them in the mutual interaction of the 3 qualities of material nature. Thus, the same love and affection that we originally have for Krishna and his devotees permutes into worldly lust, egoism, and the need to satisfy one's own senses, ideas and goals separated from the understanding that everything is for the glorification and pleasure of the Supreme Lord. It is not possible to change and purify the polluted nature of our inner potencies artificially. This is done by the grace of Krishna and his representatives through the prescribed sacrifice and the proper following of sadhana bhakti, which gradually leads to raganuga bhakti, spontaneous devotion. Spontaneous devotion is also another name for when our potencies are more purified and less in contact with the dynamics of the 3 qualities of material nature. Externally, it manifests itself in a way that we are more detached from everything that happens within the material qualities and identities that arise in them and more attached to Krishna, his devotees, and the essence of devotional service. This devotion has various manifestations, from the initial ones to the more mature ones. Initially, the devotee wants to know and search for Krishna more because he is very much covered by material illusion. In the later stages, when he is already very much aware of Krishna in many moving and non-moving things, he realizes that the mere effort to please Krishna is more than gaining knowledge of him, and this knowledge comes automatically as a byproduct of sincere devotion. Therefore, the principle of bhakti stands higher than the principle of jnana and includes the results and goals of all other paths without individually striving for them. Indeed, the individual pursuit of knowledge can also be based on a demonic mindset without striving for the true pleasure of the Supreme Person. However, this effort can also reflect a real interest in understanding Krishna more precisely so that we can serve him better. Therefore, it is precisely our inner motive and trust in the fact that Krishna gives us exactly what we need at every moment for the service he demands and wants from us. A devotee therefore finds pleasure and peace in every situation simply because he has complete trust in Krishna and is constantly determined to act for his pleasure regardless of circumstances. This is also explained in the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna describes the actions of devotees who have overcome the influence of the three qualities of material nature.